Look, Maggie, I remembered to record. Are you so proud of me? Okay. All right. So this is from Grateful Living, and it's a quote by Maya Angelou. I have found that among I have found that among its other benefits, giving liberates the soul of the giver. And I've been thinking a lot about giving recently. Just that ebb and flow of life that we all kind of share, and how um, it feels so good to give, right? I think we all know this feeling that it feels so good to give. But we need full coffers in order to be able to feel good about giving. And when we feel replenished and good, and we offer ourselves freely to the universe and all the gifts that we offer, there's this beautiful return to our own soul. It's in giving that we receive. And when I've thought of that quote, it's in giving that we receive. It brought me back to my childhood of being in the Catholic faith, and a prayer that was often said in church. And I love this prayer. It's the prayer of St. Francis. I'm going to read it to you now. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. So to be an instrument of these things, I'm going to read it one more time. To be an instrument of love, pardon, of faith, of hope, of light, and of joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. So close your eyes for a moment, and whether you resonate with specific prayers or not, let's think about the meaning of that our soul, our being is supported by us giving our light outward to the world in all these ways: consoling others, forgiving others, bringing our light, and of course loving others. So for a moment, just drop into your body, and let's move into the space of what giving feels like in your heart. And conjure up a moment recently where you've offered yourself freely to another, whether it's listening or offering help in some way. It could be simply opening the door for somebody or helping someone walk over ice. It doesn't have to be a big thing. But pay attention when you conjure up these memories of what it felt like for you to be the one to offer help and support and love and care. And just notice for yourself that it is in giving that we receive, that it is a beautiful um, highlight for our soul, that we get to be nourished well by the connection with others and by offering ourselves to others. So kind of sit in the heart space of it for a moment. Notice how good it feels. And why does it feel good? Do you feel a connection with this other person, or the animal you helped, or whatever it is? Do you feel a sense of human connection or being connection? And this is this beautiful place that we live in together. Now think of a moment also when you weren't able to give, where that didn't come naturally to you. Maybe you didn't let someone in the chain of cars, or whatever. You looked the other way with a homeless person or something along those lines. And just notice why, like what that did to you in your, first of all, how it made you feel in yourself when you were turning away from the opportunity for giving. Notice the memory of what sensation was in you. And then also dig a little deeper to the why, to the what cut you off, what made connection not possible in that moment. And we're not judging, we're just noticing. This is normal for all of us. We've all had moments where we can't give. And for a moment, turn the tide so you think of a memory when you were the receiver, when someone did you a kindness of some kind and it touched you. And when you are on the receiving end, which sometimes can be harder than being on the giving end, did you feel that same level of connection with whoever supported you? Did it feel good, even if it's challenging to accept? Did it feel like a connection? Did it give you some support? Did you give you a sense of gratitude? And let's also think of a moment when you were not able to receive, when someone was offering to you and you turned away. Just try to sense into the feeling of that. What was the resistance? What was the barrier for you? So this can be a complex, this realm of offering ourselves and receiving and being in connection in this way can be complex. We just kind of went through four different scenarios and we all have all four of those scenarios. So let's breathe in now just some gratitude of this ability to share ourselves with others. Gratitude for the ways in which we've been given opportunities to give and to receive. And bring yourself into the grounding of your body. Let your sit bones drop. See what it feels like to come into the full breath where your belly can move. Maybe you even feel your spine or your pelvis move when you breathe. And feel free to wiggle and move. You don't always have to be still when you're trying to sense the groundedness and openness of your body. Let's place our hands together at our heart. Just have a moment to drop your awareness, to center yourself and bring an intention. Maybe it has something to do with noticing and being grateful for the opportunities to both give and receive. Maybe it's something totally different. Let's release your hands and find your way onto your mat. All right, so as you stretch out and lengthen your body, let's come home to ourselves. Let's enjoy ourselves here. See if you can just relax your whole body down, give way. Let it be a symbol that now my physical practice begins. So I can kind of put away the expectations and judgments and put away the time constraints and the to-do lists and just be here now. Feel your arms stretch overhead. Maybe one side stretches a little longer than the other. And you might have that nice squeezy kind of feeling where you want to yawn or you want to pendiculate and squeeze and release a little bit to see what naturally wants to occur in your body. Just invite yourself to come home. Let's bring our knees into our chest and give yourself a gentle hug and rock a little bit. All All right, let's circle the knees, kind of rolling one direction 2 or 3 times. Rolling another direction 2 or 3 times, and just feeling into the ease across your sacrum. Let your head get heavy. Let's open up the knees away from the midline and bring them back in, and just enjoy starting to warm up some joints in your body, specifically your hip joints here, but you're also getting some mobility in your SI joints and in your low back. And then let right knee into your chest, left leg long on the ground. And let's roll around in your ankles and get some movement in your feet. How's your breath? Can you relax your shoulders? Can you relax your head? Let's switch sides, left knee into your chest, right leg long on the ground. Keep moving your feet. Try to find a different trajectory of movement than what you've already done. Keep letting your head relax, your shoulders relax. Okay, bring both knees back into your chest. Pick up your head and give a tight little squeeze. And then open your body big and wide to a star, stretching your limbs out. One more time, drawing in. And bringing yourself up. And bring your knees into your chest one more time. Place your head down onto the ground, arms straight out to the sides like a T, feet on the ground. Let's windshield wiper our knees and start to find that cross lateral work where we're turning knees in opposition of head, head in opposition of knees. Just kind of find that pathway of the coupling that happens with our head all the way down to our feet. And we have a very coordinated effort of twisting. One of the things that I've noticed with my shoulder injury and not moving properly is I've lost a little bit of this coupling action through my body, of the rhythmic nature of, like, when you walk and you go left, right, and your arm and your leg do oppositional work with each other. So it doesn't take much to lose some of these patterns in our body. So we want to make sure we're using the patterns in our body well. All right, come back to neutral. Let's spread open our limbs, stretching our limbs wide, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Draw your knees into your chest and pick up your head. And then relax and roll over to your side and come up onto your hands and your knees. Okay. So let your body feel how coordinated you are. Look what you can do with your spine, where you can ripple through your whole spine. Okay, so as you round your back, notice a little bit of pushing off the ground and the shoulder blades spread apart. And as you arch your back, notice the tail and the crown, and maybe the movement of your shoulder blades down your back a little bit. Start to feel that you don't have to really think about these things, that these are patterns that are webbed into your body well. So let's just enjoy. And then go ahead and curl your toes under and stretch back toward your heels with your buttocks and open up the bottom of your feet. And then come back up onto all fours, another cat-cow. And start to move your spine around any way you want to move your spine around. Maybe you want to circle or sway. Maybe there's some spiraling that wants to happen. Try to let whatever wants to move, move. Try not to think too much. Breathe a lot. Let your body get some freedom. And then stretch back towards full child's pose now. You can let your feet relax. Let's open up your shoulders. Stretch out and lengthen here. Enjoy the capacity to stretch your arms overhead so well. Breathing deeply. Drop some weight down into your sit bones. Let's walk the hands over to one side. Feeling our hands move over to the right. Drop some weight into our sit bones. Let your neck relax. Full breaths in, full breaths away. And come over to the other side and feel that reach and stretch here. And then come back to center, up onto all fours, have some movement of the spine again, and let's lift to dog pose. So as you find your way into this extension, take some time, pedal your feet, get your body waking up a little bit so you can move slowly. Sometimes that movement of dropping one heel and then the other can be very good for the way to open things up in the beginning of your practice, kind of rhythmic movement. So drop some weight into your hands, drop some weight into your feet. Feel the yield, feel the push off, feel the reach. Melt your skull. Seek balance between your two hemispheres. Okay, and then walk your feet forward and come to Uttanasana. Folding forward, let your hips relax. Let your hamstrings and your glutes open up a little bit. Feel free to shake or bob or bounce. All right, let's find our way to a halfway lift, extending through the spine, feeling that reach in the body, the heart lengthens, thigh bones moving strongly back. And exhale and fold again. Let your full body relax. Grab onto the base of your skull with the base of your hands and have just a little bit of drop down toward the ground and draw your chin toward your chest. Feel the back of your body open up a little bit. And then release that, hands back onto the blocks, extending, lengthening. Feel the bottom of your feet all the way to your tip of your tail. And melt again, softly fold forward. Rising up, bring your arms up to the sky. Feel that extension. Open up and reach your arms high. Open up your chest, lift it to the sky. Find a big full breath here. And then let's go ahead and bring our hands straight out to the sides. Do some circles here, starting to invite some invigoration in the shoulder joints. So we have a sense of warming in that rotation, that kind of rhythmic rotation in our shoulders now. Flex your hands so your fingertips point straight up. I guess that would be extend, but move into that plane. Okay, switch directions, go the other way. Small circles, they don't have to be giant. Drop your shoulder blades down. Notice if your neck is starting to take tension on. And then relax your hands. Lift your chin up toward the chest, toward the sky. And then drop your chin. Interlace your hands here at the base of your skull again. Lift your heart and drop your chin ever so slightly. You don't have to yank on your head. And then keep your hands there and let's open up our elbows, stretching into an open heart here. Breathing deeply. Okay. Now we're going to reach our arms all the way up to the sky again. Feel that extension. Let's cactus open the arms. Squeeze the back body a little bit. And then exhale and round your forearms, tuck your chin. Let's do that rhythm one more time. Up. Big cactus through your arms. And then exhale, rounding your chest in. One more time. Arms straight up, look up. Let's cactus the arms. And then bring your forearms to touch chin toward your chest. And relax your hands down. Give your hands a good shake. Roll around in your wrists if you want to, or just keep shaking, whatever feels good. And we're going to turn those circles into bigger circles now. So instead of arms out and kind of doing these small circles, we're just going to have some bigger circles in our shoulders. And just feel what's available here. Keep your neck as relaxed as you can. And then go the other way, circling your shoulders the other direction. I think when you've had an injury like I have, oh my gosh, do you appreciate when this kind of thing comes back into your life? As with anything, right? Take something away, you appreciate it, bring it back, you have deep gratitude. All right, so let's press our arms straight out to the sides. Lift one ear up toward the sky, fingerprints on the walls next to you. So we have big stretched out palms. Okay, lift your ear over to the other side. Feel that side of your neck, that nerve glidey stretch. And then relax and melt your arms down. Shrug your shoulders and then release them. One more shake of the hands. And then we're going to interlace our hands behind our back. This is a movement I still can't do, but I'm sure you can. So let's go ahead and interlace and then bend it forward so that you have your hands leaving your spine. I'm lucky to just get my hands on my spine. So whatever, range is available to you, find it. If your arms leave your spine far away and go over your head, that's fine too. Breathing deeply. And relax your arms and soften. Grab onto your elbows and let gravity kind of pull your ribs down toward your elbows. Relax your skull. And then release that and place your hands onto the blocks, extending long. Pedal your feet here just like we did in dog pose, opening up the calves. We did a bunch of work with the backs of the legs yesterday, so maybe you need a little opening here. We're going to step your left foot back, come to a lunge. So as we find this opening posture for our legs, let's start to bend and straighten. And remember, we're trying to just treat our body with such respect and kindness. So as you breathe and move, always pay attention to where your ranges are. Try not to have your practice be about success or even goals, but rather try not to chase poses. Instead, just let your body unfold where it is right now. How is your breathing? You invite a sense of kindness and deep respect for your body. Let's ground into our legs. Rise up, crescent lunge when you're ready. Arms coming to the sky. Feel your ribs draw into the body. Feel that sense of stability through your legs and your pelvis. You can bend the back knee a little bit if you need. You can reach your ribs off your hips. Big breaths here. Okay, let's cactus those shoulders one more time. Elbows bent. And then release your hands down to the ground. Back foot comes forward. Fold in Uttanasana. Notice each time you come into this pose, maybe there's a little more depth. Come to a halfway lift. How's your breath? Link it up with your movements. Fold forward. Let's step your right foot back, left foot's in front. Stretch through your calf, open up through your heart. Feel your hip flexor stretch in that back leg. When you are ready, let's bend and straighten. You can move your spine a little bit, your head a little bit with the movement of your legs. Just kind of feel into what's available here. Can you keep your hips square so as you straighten the leg, reach that hip back? Breathing well. Does it feel good to be in your body, to feel the sensation of stretch and awareness? And let's drop our energy down again. Feel your roots rising up. Bring your arms to the sky. And of course, arms can go somewhere else if your body needs that. Feel your breath ground into your legs. Can you feel the root to rise? What does this pose give you? What can your heart give to this pose? So see if you can open and lift a little more. And then let's cactus the arms one more time here, feeling the shoulder blades. And then release your hands down to the ground. Step back to dog pose. A long, spacious spine. Feel the femur bones lift up and back and extend here. Breathing well. Let's come forward into a plank. Hold your body weight. You can always put your knees down like I'm doing if you need. Shoulder blades away from the ears. Engage your core. Find that center body. Okay, let's lower ourselves down to the ground. Roll the shoulders a couple times, loosen things up there. Inhale, cobra pose. Melt and fold. Let's keep the cactus arms, but instead of the elbows straight out to the sides of your shoulders, drop them down a little bit closer to your hips. Take a deep breath in and lift up. Feel the back of your body. And exhale, relax. Come up onto your hands and your knees. Wiggle around in your spine. Swish and sway your hips. Find neutral. Inhale, lift your right arm up in the air. Exhale and bring that right arm underneath for a twist. Gaze toward the floor. Let your body breathe here. All right, now when we're coming out of it, come halfway out of it. So you face your chest toward the floor. Your arm is still underneath you, but maybe a little bit less so. Collarbones broaden. Stretch your hips back toward your heels like child's pose and get that posterior capsule stretch in your shoulder. Inhale and lift that arm all the way up in the air. Find your breath. Place the hand down onto the ground. Second side. Arm lifting high, left arm. Exhale, slide that arm underneath. Twisting. A little bit of pressure if you want of your hand on the ground to help you open up into that twist. Thigh bones move back. Find your breath. And then when you're ready to come out of the pose, just a little bit. So you're still with your arm underneath you, but you're facing the ground with your chest now. Collarbones widen. Drop your hips back towards child's pose and feel the outside of your shoulder open up. Inhale, reach that arm all the way up to the sky. Feel that extension. And then place the hand down onto the ground. Come into dog pose when you feel ready. Okay, so stretching and lengthening through your body. Maybe some more pedaling of your feet. Maybe you're more still now to see what feels good. Root to rise. Find your breath. See if you can open up from your heels, really the soles of your feet all the way to the crown of the head. Walk your feet forward, come to Uttanasana. Hold here. And then we'll climb all the way up to stand. Bring your arms up in the air. Feel that extension, open up through your heart. And then relax your hands down. Shake them out again. We're going to come into just eagle arms. We will do full eagle pose a little bit later, but let's take your left arm over your right arm. This is still, I can't do this. So I think you all know the pose. Cross your elbows if you can. If you can't, just go where you can. Drop your shoulders and open up across your collarbones. Feel the shoulder blades drop down the back some. Feel that your chest can stay open. All right, then unwind, reaching the arms to the sky. And let's change sides. Other arm on top. So now our right arm is on top. Drop the shoulders. Lift your elbows up. Feel your elbows just pull away a little teeny bit from your chest. Keep the collarbones broad. Breathing well. And relax. One more stretch for your shoulder here. Grab onto your right wrist with your left hand behind you. So you have a little bit of a tug. Make sure your shoulders aren't going offline. See if you can keep them balanced. And just open up through your neck. You might even want to lift your ear. Just see what feels good. Come out of there. Grab to the other side, grab the other wrist, drop it down. Maybe lift your ear up in the air. How's your breath while you're doing this? You can even move your chin a little bit if you want to drop your chin and then lift your chin. All right, and then relax. Give your shoulders a little bit of a shrug, a little bit of a shake. And then let's go ahead and inhale. Reach your arms up to the sky. Open your heart, lean back just a little bit if it feels good. And then exhale and float forward. Relax your skull, soften down. Inhale for a halfway lift and melt. While we're down here, let's turn sideways to the long edge of your mat and take your legs wide. You can put your hands on blocks or on the ground, whichever is sufficient for you. Let your inner thighs open up a little bit, thigh bones back, shin bones a little bit forward. We're going to drop our weight all the way over to the right. So come into that bent knee to whatever position you're available to do. Your hands may end up on blocks or the floor. If you can, lift your toes of that left foot up toward the sky. Now, and not everybody can bend their knee this deeply, so you may be higher than this, and that's okay. Just go where your body can go. Let's climb over to the other side. Hands down onto the ground, stretch those toes toward the sky. Let your chest broaden in front of you. Okay, come back to center. Wide legs, come into a deeper, wider squat. So toes are turned out, elbows inside the knees, drop your hips. Just feel into that deep flexion of the hip joints. Open up the knees, ground the four corners of your feet. Maybe a little rocking into your weight into your left foot, weight into your right foot. All right, and then come all the way up to stand. Turn your right foot out. Let's find triangle pose. So a block is handy if you like it on to put your hand on instead of on your leg. Before we do triangle pose, reach upward into that extended side body. And then dip forward and bring your hand down onto the ground and open up into triangle pose. Shoulders away from the ears. Keep grounding through your back foot. Feel the open chest, the open heart. Can you breathe well? Can you drop some weight into that big toe? Can you track your knee well? So sometimes the knee wants to cave inward. Turn it so it is in line with the middle toes. Come back up into the reverse of this. Stretch your arm high. Feel that length inside of your body. And then come into Parsvottanasana. Bend your knee. Stretch your arm overhead. Feel that fullness of the length of your side, the stretching open of your shoulder. And then if you want, bring your hand to the back of your head so you can open up slightly differently, letting the lats and the triceps open up a little bit. We're going to unwind this posture. Reverse your warrior here. Stretch that arm up in the air. And then straighten your leg and let's turn our feet. And we'll do the same thing over on the other side. So turning your left foot out, right foot can be turned in or straight. Extend. Let's reach upward with that arm. Feel that extension through your side body, through your shoulder, all the way to your hand. And then when you're ready, lengthen into triangle pose. The legs are straight. You kind of move your femur bone deep into the hip socket. Drop weight into that left big toe so you're counterbalancing the upward movement of the femur bone. Let your hands be at 12 and 6 o'clock and spread the heart to your hands. I think one of the ways we offer ourselves in giving is just simply by having an open heart to the world. So let your practice teach you the physicality of that, the physicality of keeping open and wide instead of collapsing. And you can find this in so many poses, not just back bends. Let's go ahead and come on out of the pose. Reverse the triangle pose again. Reach that arm up in the air, feel that side body open, and then find your way into Parsvottanasana. Elbow on your knee, stretch your arm overhead. Shoulders stay down, your neck is nice and relaxed. Feel the grounding, the support of your legs and your feet. Can you open up your heart here? Can you feel that sense of your side body awakening and enlivening? Breathing deeply. Reverse your warrior. So keeping the bended knee, stretch that arm up in the air, feel the extension. And then find a straight leg again. Turn your feet forward. You have a choice with your arms now. You can interlace them like we did before, or you can bring your hands straight down, or you can bring your arms out in front of you. So find a pathway that feels best in your body. Slight micro bend in your knees. Let your head relax. All right, let's walk our hands a little bit closer in. Walk our feet a little closer and bring our knees down onto the ground. We're going to come into gate pose. Start on your right knee, and we're going to stretch our left leg out. Now, if you are uncomfortable, you can pad extra under your knee. If you can't be on your knee, you can do this standing. If your ankle doesn't extend all the way, you can put your toes on a block. Okay, so find the support that you need. Let's not let the hips stick out. Try to find that straight line from your crown to your shin on the ground. Reach upward and find that length. And now as you're ready, let's lift up and over to the side. The hand, your left hand that's on your left leg, let it be light so we're not bearing down all of our weight. We're just there for some support. Keep the neck neutral. Breathing deeply. And come back up. We're going to tip to the other side. So we're going to bring our hand down onto the ground or onto a block and reach up into Vasisthasana with our knee down on the ground. Now a choice might be to keep your foot on the ground. Another choice might be to lift your foot up. I'm a little constrained by my furniture. So hopefully you have room, shoulder blades away from the ears, finding breath. Okay, and let's come out of the pose, come on to two shins. Rest down into child's pose. Take your arms out in front of you. Relax your spine. Inhale, rising up onto two shins, arms coming up. Open that heart, and then exhale and bring your arms down at your sides. Let your elbows soften toward the floor. Let your shoulders fall. Now, if it feels good, take your hands behind your back and just interlace your fingers a little bit. And if you can't, maybe just have your hands rest on your sacrum or on your low back. And let your elbows move toward the floor. Just gently, let gravity do the work. A little internal rotation in the shoulders. Finding your breath. Come on up. Onto your shins one more time. Arms lifting, feel that open heart. And then trace right down through the center. Pause for a moment in your breath. And when you're ready, we'll take the other side. So on your shin, other foot straight out, support however you need support. Let's reach upward with that arm. Feel the extension in your body. Breathing well. Let's tip over to the side. Finding your breath. Try not to lean your torso toward the floor. Find the full side stretch. Neck is relaxed. Press your shin into the ground. And then come back up. And we're going to tip over to the side. Place your hand onto the ground for Vasisthasana on this side. Okay. Shoulder blade down the back. Your hand can be on a block if you need a little more height. Your foot can lift up in the air or your foot can stay down. So either path, whatever feels good to you, shoulders away from the ears. Open the heart to the hands, both hands. Okay. And now turn toward your mat and come down into child's pose. Relax, bring your arms up or down, whichever feels better to you, and just let your legs kind of sink into that support of the deep flexion of your knees and hips. Find a full, beautiful breath. Let's lift to dog pose again. When you're ready, feel that extension in the spine. Sense of yielding, giving your weight. Sense of releasing your skull. And then walk your feet forward to Uttanasana one more time. Relax your head, rising all the way up. Okay, we're going to come into full eagle pose now. So dropping some weight into our right foot, like sense your balance. So if you need support, do this with your buttocks against a wall or a piece of furniture so that your hands can be bound in eagle pose. We're going to stand on our right foot, our left leg crosses over. Because our left leg is on top, we put the opposite arm on top. So right arm is going to be on top. And if you're a little constricted in your movement like I am, you can cross your elbows like this onto your shoulders, squat down, squeeze your legs, squeeze your armpits, lift your heart and widen your collarbones. Keep the base of your skull soft, melt there. Feel the stretch across your shoulders. And lift on up, standing star in between. Stretch your limbs out. And then come down. Now, if you get dizzy from the squeeze and the release, always make sure you have, something to support you, something to put your hand on for a moment. And if you need support in the pose in general, you can put your buttocks against something and do the pose like this. Okay, so second side, standing on our left foot, cross the right leg over. Be mindful that your hips don't turn. Try to keep your hips square. You can, if your body allows, you can hook your foot to the inside of your calf, or you can just rest it on the outside. Squeeze your legs. We're going to put our left arm on top of our right arm. Okay. Find the sense of drop in the pose. So drop down, lift your chest, broaden your collarbones. Find your breath. Shoulder blades down the back, heart lifting. Soften your gaze. Relax the base of your skull. Unwind your posture. A standing star again, feeling that big open space. Release your hands down, fold forward, feet hip width apart, Uttanasana. Relax here, bobble your head. Let's come to a halfway lift. Melt again. Let's move through a vinyasa, back to dog pose. Long, spacious spine. Full breaths here. Let's come forward into a plank. Put your knees down if you need it. Shoulders away from the ears, hug to the center line. Lower yourself all the way or halfway. Maybe you go into chaturanga and up dog. Maybe you find the floor and find a back bend that you love. And melt and relax. Okay, come onto your belly. We're going to come into 3 pathways with this. First, arms overhead, thumbs up towards the sky, hands a little wider than your shoulders. You can always make a different choice if need be. Inhale, lift your body. Legs can come up too, or maybe you want to leave your legs down. Your choice, neck is long. And relax and melt. Put your hands under your head, pick up your feet, windshield wiper your knees between passes of the back bend. Come down again with your legs. This time we'll take the same pathway we did earlier. So we're forming, a cactus arms, but our elbows might be a little lower than our shoulders, or even your choice. Take a deep breath in, lift your upper body. Your legs can stay on the ground. Feel your shoulder blade tips drop down toward your sacrum. Lift your heart. Have your breath. Relax your neck. And then melt and relax, hands underneath, other hand on top. Pick up your feet and windshield wiper them left and right. All right, last pass. Arms down at your sides, palms facing the floor. You can lift your legs or no, your choice, but upper body for sure. Lift your arms. Try to get your arms, your triceps to engage, the shoulder blades to engage, your back muscles to engage. Feel your core support your low back. And then melt and relax. One more time. Put your hands under your head and let your feet windshield wiper left and right. Okay, we're gonna bring our left knee high up toward our armpit and just let your back release here for a moment. Stay low with your torso. A big breath. And then we're gonna cross that right arm over to the left and swing open into a twist. Let your knee leave the floor. Try to bring the back of your hand onto the ground. Turn your head if you'd like. Take a deep breath here. Fully exhale. Let's roll back toward the center. We're gonna move to the other side. Bring your right knee up high toward your armpit. Stay low with your torso. Relax your back. Soften your breath. And then we'll move into the twist. So left arm crosses over to the right. And then we'll open up our body. Turn. Let that right hand touch the ground. Let your knee leave the floor. Turn your head toward your right hand. Full breaths in. Full exhales away. Let's relax and come onto our belly again. And lift ourselves up to all fours. Let's move around in our spine. Wiggle and sway, whatever feels nice. And then we'll come into child's pose. Settle your hips back toward the heels. Feel that surrender. Breathing deeply. Arms can be anywhere you want them to be. Just stay in dog pose while I tell you what we're gonna do next. So you just not dog pose, child's pose, so you get a little extra nourishment to your back. We're going to do a back bend over a rolled blanket. So when you're ready, you can come out of child's pose, roll a blanket up. If you're feeling super open, you can roll two blankets together. We want to take a nice roll, okay? And then we're going to take our back onto that roll. So the roll is right in the middle of our shoulder blades. Of course, you can support your head with a block or another blanket if you feel like you need that. And we're going to stretch our arms overhead. All right, so let's come into a back bend. You can be like me. I have my knees bent, my feet on the floor. You can have your legs straight, whatever feels good to your body. Finding breath. Now, for me, my one shoulder won't open enough for my hand to touch the ground. I'm almost there. So if that happens to you, sometimes it's helpful to put a block underneath your hands if you can't reach the ground, so that you have something to relax your hands to. Open up your breath. Bring your arms back down, and we're just going to move the blanket down. And if you just got there, stay a few more breaths before moving, but we're going to just move our body so that the blanket is at the bottom tip of our shoulder blades, never in our low back. Make sure you're still supported by the bottom tips of your shoulder blade. And then you can try stretching your arms again. I'm holding a block between my hands, and that's another way to give some support to your shoulder. So there's so many ways you can do this. You don't have to have your arms overhead. You can have them out like a T or a cactus, whatever feels good in your body. Make sure your breath stays deep and full no matter what you're doing. Find our arms coming down first and then roll over onto your side and get rid of that blanket entirely. Come to lay down on your back. Bring your knees to your chest and rock a little bit, swaying side to side. We're going to drop our knees down over to the left. Open up your chest, turn your head to the right. Simple twist. Let your body relax. Come back up. Scoot your hips to the left, knees to come up, drop right. Twisting this way. Roll breaths, turn your head. You can hold on to your knees if you want to. Going back to neutral. Knees into your chest, round your spine, pick up your chin. And then relax your back on the ground. So Shavasana, unless you need another pose first, but when you're ready, we'll stretch our body out and support in whatever way you need. Maybe you need to get warmer. Maybe you need some support under your knees or head. Whatever feels good. You settle into Shavasana. Feel the weight of your body. Give way through your skull, the base of your skull. Soften through your jaw. You really feel a sense of surrender through your head. Relax your skull, your forehead, your cheeks, all of it. And then get weighted, let your head get heavy. And then follow that path down your spine. Let your spine get heavy. Shoulder blades drop. Feel the weight of your arms. Feel the weight of your hips. Feel the weight of your legs.
to look at the movement in your body. Find a full deep breath. Take your time, eventually coming to your side. Move slowly.
Let's come to a comfortable seat. I'm getting there. You're upright. See if you can offer just this giving of your heart. So your heart feels a little more free, feel a little more embodied, more grounded. And with this energy, full coffers, stable energy of your supported self, offer your energy to another. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.